You are a magnificent being. You are a universal being. But you are also a victim of the rules you live by, according to Jenny Holzer. And what does she mean by that? Well, I'm going to delve into the conscious mind.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
I don't know.
Jenny Holzer and why should we listen to her?
Oh, okay. She's an artist and an utterer of brilliance.
Okay.
Okay, that's why. I think we have, at the end of the sermon, basically respecting people is going to be one of the things that is going to help us to overcome our negativity. And so we can recognize brilliance in all kinds of people. So I think Jenny Holzer falls into that category. Yeah. So what does she mean by you are a victim of the rules you live by? And I just want to delve quickly into the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. And apologies to all of you psychiatrists in the audience who actually know this subject in more detail than I do. But I just want to touch on it because it's so important. So let's talk about the conscious mind first of all. This is the mind which figures things out. It's the mind which remembers, which judges, which obsesses, analyzes, criticizes, worries about our shape, our figure, our income, all these kind of things. And the best way that I can think of describing this part of our brain is that it is a relentless overachiever. It is chattering away to you from the minute you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. And the other thing to note is that it doesn't really develop until puberty. So you don't really develop critical thinking until the age of adolescence. And that's the reason why when we go through adolescence, it's such a tumultuous time because we question everything. Our parents' authority being just one of the many things we start to question. And that's the way it should be. But from the moment we're born, there is another part of our mind, which is the subconscious mind, which is actually running the blueprint of our lives, which is our belief system. We're oblivious to these beliefs that run our lives. But when our conscious mind finally develops and starts to think critically of the information that's coming into us, this mind, the subconscious mind, is already fully developed. It's fully developed from the moment you come screaming into the world. And our conscious mind thinks it's in control, but it's not. Our subconscious mind doesn't think, but is in control. So there is a conflict. This is the problem. So what we unconsciously believe versus what we consciously want. So there is this conflict going on. For instance, your conscious mind, you say, I long for intimacy. Your subconscious mind, after going through years of growing up in a household where it experienced some kind of wrongdoing, is telling you that intimacy equals pain and suffering and should be avoided at all costs. On your conscious mind, you say to yourself, I want to lose 25 pounds. Subconsciously, you've come to the conclusion that the world is an unsafe place and you need a layer of fat around you in order to shield you and protect you from this cruel, harsh world. Your conscious mind says, I want to travel the world. Your subconscious mind has the belief that traveling the world, that's irresponsible. You can't be irresponsible. Your conscious mind says, I want to make a lot of money. Your subconscious mind says, money is the root of all evil. You don't want to be evil. Being evil is bad. So, you can kind of see how when we are in this kind of conflicted state, it's going to cause problems. How did we end up like that? It's not your fault, by the way. But it is your fault if you stay like that. So, just want to put that out there. And by the way, the unconscious or subconscious mind has a lot of great, fantastic beliefs as well. But we're not going to talk about those. Those aren't the problem. The problem is that we believe on an unconscious, subconscious level in certain things that are sabotaging our happiness and our lives. And until we wrestle with those and pull them out, no amount of fixing with our conscious mind, analyzing and trying to control things is going to work. It's kind of like you sitting on your front porch and smelling a foul odor and thinking to yourself, okay, a foul odor. I need to get some Febreze out here, maybe paint the porch, maybe put some joss sticks out, some air freshener, something like that. Meanwhile, the cause of the problem is that an animal has crawled underneath your house and died. And that's what's causing the smell. So no amount of painting or air fresheners or fixes that you're attempting with your conscious mind is going to solve this problem caused by something below, underneath. So when you think about this, what areas of your life are substandard? What areas of your life are you not too happy about? What areas of your life do you feel could be improved upon? And by the way, it's all relative, right? I mean, we're living in a fantastic country. All of us have fantastic lives in many ways. We have running water. We have indoor plumbing.
Sewer lines.
Yesterday our sewer line backed up. And now it's emptying all the contents into our yard. And when those kind of things happen, you realize, I take these things for granted. Every day, flush the toilet and things just disappear. It's like, okay, now I can get on with my life. And then all of a sudden you realize how blessed you've been all this time. That you can flush a toilet and things disappear. Because now they don't. Now they pop up in your yard. It's rather like the subconscious is finally manifesting itself and saying, here I am! Stop your happiness! Your weekend is going on halt right now! And that is a pretty good analogy of how our subconscious is ruining our life. Not, on purpose, but just because it was designed that way. We were supposed to be born into families of true love, absorbing examples of our magnificence from our parents, from our teachers, from our friends, from our environment. But instead, we grew up with, let's face it, screwed up parents. And we inherited screwed up ideas about how the world is. And there's no filter on the subconscious mind. There's no filter on a 6-year-old's mind. Everything's taken at face value. Oh, a big red man comes down the chimney and gives presents. Yeah, that's true. Everything, there's no filter. So that's the problem. And then these ideas are already firmly lodged inside before our critical mind is able to develop and take over and start filtering things out. Yes, that's true. No, that doesn't make sense. Already we're running on this autopilot that we're not even aware of. And that's the problem. So, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. This is Nikola Tesla. So, I just outlined the basic problem. This is the solution. So the law of vibration, broken down, is everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. Everything that includes what you want and what you don't want. We are perpetual energy magnets with no shut-off button. So the question is not what are you attracting anything into your life? The question is, what are you attracting into your life? And thirdly, are you connected to the source? Or are you going it alone in this world? So we've identified that God is the source of energy, and that we are created as co-creators of our life, co-architects, if you like, of our life. So what we need to do is we need to become aware of who we are. So awareness, in this case, is the key to freedom. What do you believe on a subconscious level? And if you look at it this way, our life of faith is an internal conflict resolution. It's a path of cleaning out your mind, rectifying your faulty beliefs, and understanding that you have the responsibility to tune in to God's frequency. So for instance, if you want to listen to a certain type of music, for instance, some slow jam, and then you tune into something else instead, you're not going to get what you want. So here's the situation. When we're feeling pessimistic, or needy, or victimized, or jealous, or shameful, or worried, or fearful, convinced we're ugly, etc., and then we're striving for positivity and independence and confidence and joy, we're often going to end up feeling frustrated in our lives until we understand that it's a problem of vibration. We're on a very low frequency, and yet we're hoping for this wonderful things happening in our lives. As the video explained, the best way to do it is if you can vibrate on that frequency of which you want more of, it will just flow effortlessly into your life. Just like all the things that you don't consciously want are flowing into your life because you're on that frequency. It's that your emotions are like a window into this subconscious part of yourself. Your emotions are actually telling you, informing you of what you believe, even though you don't consciously believe that, but it is more true than you realize. Okay? So, beginning to change ourselves is to take full responsibility for our lives. Without doing that, we can't change anything. You heard that song, Waiting for the World to Change? That's never going to happen. So there are people in this planet right now who are happy individuals, who are accomplishing a lot of things, and they're living on the same planet that I'm on. So what's going on here? Are they living on... No, they're on the same planet. And yet, their life is fulfilled, they're happy, they're living their dream, they're making a lot of money, they have wonderful families, all this kind of stuff. And when they go through bad things in life, they go through them, they kind of rush through them and come out the other end, and they're seemingly unaffected. Their vibration is kept at a high level. So it's me. It's me.
That's right.
I'm the one. It's my vibration level that needs to be looked at. It's my belief system underlying inside my mind that needs to be looked at. So, just to give us a historical reference, here are some examples of the law of vibration, the law of attraction mentioned in the Old Testament. Book of Psalms. I will praise the Lord who counsels me. Even at night my heart instructs me. I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand I will not be shaken. And I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. Almost like a mantra we have to keep in order to train our lower self, our subconscious mind, and rectify these faulty beliefs that are wrecking our lives. In the New Testament, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. What is St. Paul asking the congregations of the Philippians to do? He's asking them to vibrate at a higher level, because that's where God exists. But spiritual growth is a rough ride. Here are 3 quotes from André Gide. One does not discover new lands without consenting to lose sight of the shore. People who have decided to change their lives, uproot their faulty thinking, and really make a go for it, swing for the fences, etc., have found that there's a lot of resistance that comes their way from the people in their life, well-meaning people, family members telling you, what? You're giving up your corporate job and you're trying to start your own business as a hair salon? What? You crazy? It's so irresponsible. You've got to do something about that. You know, these people who have decided, okay, this is my dream, this is my calling, I'm going to go and fulfill this kind of mission or service or job or whatever, find a lot of resistance. I heard this one story about this successful corporate worker who had a family and decided he wanted to start his own consulting business. And then, as soon as he quit his job and started this consulting business, he lost a big deal. There was going to be a big deal that was the launch of his business. That fell through. His babysitter drove into his wife's car whilst driving his car, and then he was hit by a bus the next week. All of this happened within like a 2-week period, almost like his whole world turned upside down, and yet because he was able to focus on what he really truly wanted, he was able to ride through the resistance and make it to the other side, and now he travels the world and does very well. So that's the kind of ride that we're going to be on when we try to uproot the subconscious and change things up and make a break for it. It is only an adventure that some people succeed in knowing themselves, in finding themselves. It is better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for something that you are not. Yeah. And in the completed Testament age, here are some quotes. That's the age we're living in now, by the way. Unpack the dirty elements inside yourself and cleanse them. Open up the baggage of your mind and look what you find there. Is it going to be pretty? Probably not. But if you're going to make your porch a pleasant place to hang out in, you've got to go into the sub area and drag out that dead raccoon that decided to die right under there in order for you to make that porch a sweet-smelling place again. The key word is respect. Respect yourself as a holy person. Respect your mind as holy. Respect your body as holy. This is the key to happiness. So, in conclusion, I just wanted to remind us that we are living on a certain frequency. Tune into the frequency that you want to tune into. Consciously help yourself connect to God's words, pray, meditate, do whatever it takes in order for you to climb up to that higher frequency. Focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. Remember, fear, for instance, is a low energy frequency. And by being fearful or remaining fearful, we are attracting those events into our life. We are always attracting things. So it's a conscious decision for us to make, to decide, I'm going to attract these things and not those things. And when these things show up in our life, we can brush them aside and keep focusing on what we actually do want, so that eventually our subconscious and our conscious are working in harmony and attaining our life's dreams, and attaining or fulfilling our life in a deeply meaningful way. So we were not put on this earth just to limp along and survive. That's not the point. We're not just put on the earth to kind of live a long life, but without much sense of joy and happiness. We're put on this earth as beings that are being given so much love by the universe. If we stop and think about how blessed we are, it's a surprise that we're not just quivering masses of just crying on the floor of gratitude, just think, oh my gosh, we're so blessed. But instead, we are overrun with petty thinking in our conscious mind and faulty thinking from our unconscious, subconscious mind. And together, these two are not taking us where we want to go. So, although I'm not providing you with any solutions in this Sunday service, I am hopefully at least helping us all to become aware of some fundamental issues in our life that need to be straightened out in order for us to live the life of our dreams, in order for us to live in harmony with God, our Creator, in order for us to be happy individuals. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Parents, thank you so much for giving us this physical life. We came into this world full of promise, with no concepts, just absorbing everything around us. And we grew and we grew and we developed ideas and thinking that actually takes us away from our source, which is you. Help us to connect with you. Help us to realize that there are certain elements of ourself that are less than positive and that need to be rectified or cast out in order for us to really welcome you into our hearts and minds, in order for us to be the kind of people that can vibrate on your frequency and generate the love and goodness and kindness that you are. So help us to tune into you, help us to block out the other frequencies that exist in this world, help us to become the kind of people that live to our fullest potential. And for that to happen, we need faith in you. We need your word. We need your guidance. We need support from each other. We need to support each other. Help us to accomplish these things so that we can fulfill the promise that you made for us. We offer this prayer with gratitude through Christ our Lord. Amen and Adieu.